Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jeremy Mitchell. I'm sitting here with Pete.
Hey.
Is it Clements?
Clements.
All right. Pete's one of the top reps at 7th Level selling sales training, and we are attending the Unicorn Mastermind, Unicorn Closers Mastermind here, live event in Hollywood Hills.
Yeah.
And you can see the backdrop of downtown LA behind us, and this is a beautiful place, and appreciate you meeting with me, brother.
Likewise.
All right. So I wanted to interview you, Pete, because I invested in 7th Level. I invested in the Inner Circle. Did that twice. I was a legacy member.
Yeah.
And my career really took off. And I'm really big on personal development. So I've invested like $85,000 to join Tony Robbins' Platinum Partnership Program, plus the trips is like another $20K. I invested in Andy Elliott and Jeremy Miner and Josh Lyons. That was about $50K so far this year. And so I know you're also really interested in personal development. So why don't you talk about your experience and your journey through investing in yourself personally?
You got me beat. I'm only at about like $50K invested into myself.
Yeah, you're young.
I got more hair, right?
Yeah. I'm 45. You'll get there.
Yeah, the biggest thing I've noticed is like, it's an amazing thing to pour into yourself. Like you're your biggest asset. It doesn't matter if you're in sales, you're building a business, or you're an entrepreneur, whatever. It's like if you aren't the person, I found this is like more of a new thing for me. Is like if you're not the person that deserves to be successful, you're not going to have success.
I love that. My dad told me one time, he said, the best investment you can make is into yourself. And when you think about that $50K you invested in yourself, or the money I've invested in myself, that first time I invested in the NEPQ, the Inner Circle, that $22K, I ended up making $250 the next year. So, and it's like I'd never made over 6 figures before. So to go and do that year over year and do that, earning those skills, if I would have invested 20K into real estate or invested 20K into Bitcoin or something like that, even with it going through the roof right now, I still wouldn't have made as much money on the return of my investment. And the thing I also love about what you said is, one thing I've realized is when you set goals, the power behind setting goals isn't the attainment of the goal, it's the person you need to become in order to attract that.
Jim Rohn.
Jim Rohn,
right?
absolutely.
Set the goal to make $1 million, not because of the goal, but who you have to be to achieve it.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly.
So spot on. And I think one of the biggest things that was a block for me that I'm still working on it, was like confidence.
Okay.
Because like you have to be a confident person if you're going to be successful, in my opinion.
Yeah.
From experience, but like. Actually, Josh gave me some of the best life advice I got. It was 2 years ago. It changed my whole life because 2 years ago I was in my parents' house making $2K a month, not even some months, and like struggling. Like I had no confidence. I felt like I was falling behind quickly.
Yeah.
And he told me, he's like, because I told him I was like, I'm looking for drive, and he's like, well, you're not going to find it because you don't have any. And I was like, oof.
Yeah.
I needed that, but he told me, he's like, it's something that you put into things, you inject it into things. And he's like, so you need to like go and live a more driven life.
Yeah.
Just have more experiences, go live life, travel, talk to hot girls. My girlfriend's not mad at me for saying that, right? But like, like travel, drive car, just do things that like make you feel alive, and like you'll find drive.
Right.
And so ever since he told me that, I embodied it. And the biggest thing I've noticed, like in terms of growth development, is I've invested a lot of money into myself and skill set's gone up. But the biggest thing that's changed is who I am.
Yep.
Because of the experiences I've chosen to give myself.
Yeah. You mentioned something about how you're struggling with your confidence. And I believe, and you've grown in your confidence, correct? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Now, do you know, in my opinion, the reason why people grow in confidence or where they suffer in confidence is because they either do or don't follow through on what they said they were going to do.
Non-negotiables.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, like I read this in the book Relentless, where Tim Grover was talking about self-reputation. Every time you say you're going to go to the gym and then you don't go, or every time you say you're going to stick onto this diet and then you don't do the diet, that's when your confidence goes down.
You're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
And if you don't hold your own word to yourself, then like, what's your word worth? It's not worth anything.
Exactly. So what have you invested in and put yourself into uncomfortable positions that's caused you to grow in confidence and live that life and live those experiences that Josh talked about?
Yeah. So the first thing I did is like he told me that the first decision I made was I need to move out. I was like, I wasn't making
Move out
enough.
of
Parents' house.
Okay,
Like, I need to get out because it's like
Yeah.
a comfort zone. Staying there,
Yeah.
right? Even though it's like not really a comfort zone.
yeah.
It's what
And
I
you
was
were
used
how
to.
old at the time?
I was 23 or 24.
Okay, all right.
I'm 26
Gotcha.
now.
Right. Okay. So you moved out of mommy and daddy's house.
Yeah, and so what I was making a month is what I was like, I need that to be my rent a month.
Uh-huh.
So I found rent that was $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
Nicer place. I was like,
Okay.
so it's gonna force me to have
That's
to
funny.
do
You pay
something.
more in rent than I do in Oklahoma right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, I did it to force myself to be in a position where it's like I had to make it
Yeah.
happen.
Okay.
And I did that, and then I was like, okay, well, great. I need to get better though, and so I started investing into myself, and so it's like my cost of living went up to like
Yeah.
more than what I was used to making, so
Yeah.
it forced me to do that. But in terms of like situations, just like traveling, like I've been to South America, I've been to Italy. It's like I just went and did things that like are out of my comfort zone because
Right.
I'm used to being a homebody.
Yeah.
And now I'm like the black sheep in the family. I do things totally different.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Well, I think we're about to get started here.
Yeah.
The one last thing I want to leave you with is like another big thing you did recently was you bought a dream car of yourself,
I did.
of yours. And so my last question I'm going to ask you before we break off and go back to this mastermind is what would you give advice in terms of advice to people who are on the cusp of wanting to push themselves past that comfort zone, but they just can't get themselves to take that leap and go over the fence?
I think the only reason people get in that spot, because we've all been there, it's fear and uncertainty of if it'll work or not. If you do the thing,
Yeah.
you won't know if it'll work till you do it, and
Right.
you're not going to have any confidence until you take the action that can give you the result.
Right.
So if you're waiting to be more confident and more certain, like fuck that, it's not
You're
gonna
never
work.
going to have it.
You just have to do it. And
Yeah.
once that feeling comes up, it's like bite the head off the snake, like just jump. That's when you have that feeling, is exactly when you do the thing
Yeah.
that scares you.
Yeah, the one thing, if you've never attended a Tony Robbins event, I would highly encourage you to do the Unleash the Power Within event. Next year it's going to be here in LA.
Oh, cool.
And what it does is on day one, you learn how to manage your state, and you do the fire walk on day one. So it's one of those things, when you walk up to that fire, you're at that point of like, oh man, I'm fucking scared.
Yeah.
My feet are going to burn. I'm going to like turn into bloody stumps of feet.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where you get in the state and you make a move and you go and you walk across the hot coals. And that was life-changing for me. So,
Yeah, I'd
all
say,
right.
yeah, don't be nervous when you do it. Be excited that you're taking the opportunity to do it.
Right. All right,
Yeah.
Pete. Thank you, sir.
Likewise.
No problem, Manuel. Just doing a quick little video here, brother.
What's up, brother?
See you
You're
guys.
looking good.